evening, everybody, and welcome to CVCA Royals football on CVCA Livestream. Coming to you tonight on the NFHS Network. And for the first time in 2 seasons, and only the 4th time in school history, the Royals are hosting a playoff game. My name is Tim Nichols, and as always, we're glad you're joining us tonight, this evening, wherever you might be. The Royals earned this home game with a hard-fought 17-6 win last Friday night against the previously undefeated Manchester Panthers in Week 10, and that win carried a ton of Harbin playoff points, enough to catapult CVCA to the number 3 line in Region 9 of the Ohio High School Athletic Association's Division III. The reward? A first-ever meeting with the Preppers from University School out of Hunting Valley, which bills themselves as Northeast Ohio's oldest high school football program. US has been playing football since 1890, and the 2024 edition is Team 135. By comparison, this CVCA team is Team 29. The Preppers got a 106-year head start on the Royals. But it's CVCA that's the higher seed tonight in the first ever matchup between the two schools. The OHSAA playoffs begin tonight, and it's win or go home. This is the 13th time that CVCA has qualified for the playoffs, and the 7th year in a row that the Royals have made the tournament. But CVCA will be looking for just their 4th victory in the postseason. The Royals won a pair of games in the expanded 2020 playoff season, and a year before that, the 2019 edition of the Royals were the first CVCA football team to record a postseason win. Since then, CVCA has been one and done, with a loss to West Branch in 2021, a narrow defeat against Aurora in 2022, and a quick exit from the playoffs last year after an opening round road game against eventual state semifinalist Chardon. But there is hope on the east side of Cuyahoga Lake Road tonight. The 3 seed is the highest overall seed for a CVCA football team in the history of the program. And if the Royals can win tonight, they will extend their program record 8-game winning streak. On the far sideline tonight, University School will be making their 11th trip to the OHSAA playoffs this evening. They too are looking to turn the page on a postseason history that has seen them on the wrong side of the scoreboard more often than not. US is 3-10 all-time. Once the leaves start to fall, the last playoff victory for the Preppers was back in 2016 when they traveled to Bowling Green and won a regional quarterfinal game. It's been 4 straight first-round exits since then, including 2 years ago when they were upset in a 4-13 matchup against Kenston. One of these teams is going to turn the page on a less than stellar playoff history tonight here at Royal Stadium. So let's take a look at how they got here tonight. First, for CVCA, here's the schedule in the regular season. The Royals opened up in Week 1 on the road at Streetsboro, and they were on the short side of a 29-21 score against the Streetsboro Rockets, who ultimately went 10-0 on the season. In fact, those 21 points that CVCA scored were pretty impactful against the Rockets. The Rockets only gave up 35 points the rest of the entire season in weeks 2 through 10. The following week here at home in the home opener, the Royals went to 0-2 against Lake Catholic. They also went 10-0 this season. So CVCA's 2 losses in the first 2 weeks of the season against a pair of teams that went undefeated this year. Lake Catholic defeated CVCA 33-7. But then in week 3, the Royals went across town to their crosstown rival Woodridge and defeated Woodridge 28-0 in an absolute monsoon. Well, that monsoon got things going in the right direction for CVCA. It was the first of 8 straight victories for the Royals. The following week, the Royals began their final tour through the Principal's Athletic Conference. CVCA defeated Tuslaw on the road 47-7, and it came home and beat up Canton South 21-10. That game, a victory delivered by backup quarterback Alex Mamoni. Charlie Levac was back in week 6 at Triway, and the Royals defeated undefeated Triway 37-7 in week 6. They followed that up with a 38-7 victory over Fairless at home here in week 7. Week 8 may have been the most impressive outing of the entire season for the Royals. CVCA and Northwest came together. Northwest only had 1 loss at that point in the year. The Royals scored in the 3rd play of the game. They had a 21-0 lead after the end of the first quarter, and they went on to defeat Northwest 55-21 against the Indians. At home in week 9, the Royals took their football prowess and defeated Orville 41-14, and then last week a hard-fought 17-6 in the final meeting ever between CVCA and Manchester. The Royals 8 straight victories, 8-2, and the 3rd seed in Region 9 of Division 3 of the OHSAA playoffs. Now for University School, we'll take a look at their schedule throughout the course of the season as well. And University School was 5-5, officially 4-5 because their Week 9 game against Doane Community did not count in the OHSAA rankings. They got the season started against Geneva, their annual Week 1 opponent. Geneva defeated University School as US was on the road. The Preppers lost 27-7. The following week, they opened against John F. Kennedy at home and beat them up 52-0. Bay defeated US in Week 3, 17-7. And then they get another win in Week 4, back at home again, defeating Garfield Heights 26-19. Week 5 was a Division 3 Region 9 matchup against Akron East, and East defeated US 37-9. The following week, they had their arch rival, their nemesis, from just down the road on SOM, as they like to say at US, and Gilmore put it on US this year 54-0. At that point in the season, US had to circle the wagons if they were going to make the playoffs, and they did just that. They defeated Lutheran East 31-14. Lutheran East at that point was undefeated on the season, so that was a good win, maybe the best win of the year for these Preppers. Cheney defeated US 28-0. Then they defeated Doane Community with a shutout of their own 34-0. And last week had a good performance down at Howland near Youngstown, 35-14 against Howland. So 5-5 overall, 4-5 officially as it relates to the OHSAA University School. The 14th seed here tonight to take on the Royals. The winner tonight will take on the winner of the 6-11 matchup, which is being played up in Chardon tonight, where the Hilltoppers are hosting they're hosting as the 6th seed against the Talmadge Blue Devils. And before we go any further, let's take a look at the Region 9 bracket. The Royals are the 3 seed, and you can see them down toward the bottom of the screen playing University School tonight. Up at the top of the bracket, Youngstown Ursuline is the 1 seed. They'll take on Youngstown Cheney tonight. VASJ may be the best or maybe the second best team in the entire region, but they're only the 9 seed because they played a tough schedule this season. But look out for them. Don't sleep on VASJ. They have Hawken on the road tonight, the 8-9 matchup. Aurora, who was here a couple of years ago, is the 4 seed in this region. They take on Bedford this evening at home. Geneva, the 5, takes on Madison. Akron East, we mentioned them in their matchup with University School earlier this season. They are the 15 seed taking on Gilmore Academy. Kenston hosts Maple Heights. The Royals here hosting US, and Chardon on the bottom of the bracket hosting Talmadge. The 1 through 4 seeds, if they are victorious, will get a second home game next week. All those games being played tonight starting at 7 o'clock. And now we're getting ready for our game here at Royal Stadium. We'll take a look at CVCA. As for tonight, the Royals accomplished one of their major goals for the season already. CVCA is making the transition from a quarter century in the Principal's Athletic Conference to its new athletic future in the North Coast Conference. In fact, every other sport at CVCA, except for football, is already competing against NCC competition, against the likes of Lake Catholic, NDCL, Holy Name, Padua, and on the girls' side, against Beaumont. But with football, schedules are set in stone so far in advance that CVCA and its former conference mates in the PAC agreed to keep the 2024 schedule in place, with the Royals moving to the NCC for football 1 year from now. So CVCA was not eligible for a PAC championship this year, even though they played all the PAC schools. The Royals met as the senior leaders earlier in the spring, and they set a goal of going undefeated against PAC competition, and they did just that. They had come close before, finishing with just 1 conference loss 5 times in the last 25 years, but Team 29 is the first CVCA team to emerge from PAC conference play unscathed, a goal that those seniors set out back in the spring. Now it's time for the next goal on the list, win in Week 11. It's only been done one other time. The 2019 Royals were the 4 seed in Region 13 at that time in Division 4. They recorded CVCA's first ever playoff victory against the Salem Quakers 5 years ago here at Royal Stadium. A year later, CVCA won 2 playoff games during the COVID season, but that was when the regular season was shortened to 6 weeks. The OHSAA playoffs allowed every school that year to participate. But that 2019 team stands alone as the only CVCA team to win playoffs in Week 11. This Team 29 looks to match that mark tonight. And the Royals will be led tonight by junior quarterback Charlie Levac, who is comfortable running the ball just as he is passing. Levac is finishing up his 2nd year under center for CVCA after bursting on the scene on the defensive side of the ball as a freshman when he picked off 6 passes after ascending to a starting role in the second half of the season. He won the starting job at quarterback in Week 2 a year ago, and he hasn't looked back since. This season, he's passed for 720 yards and thrown for 6 touchdown passes. The junior spread the ball around to 10 different receivers this year, but his favorite target is fellow junior number 13, Braden Harris, who had his first 100-yard receiving game 1 week ago. He hauled in 4 touchdown receptions this year, and as for Levac, 5 of those 6 interceptions came in one game, Week 2 against Lake Catholic. But Levac shook off the game in Week 2, and he's been shaking off defenders all season with his feet. The junior leads the team with 10 rushing touchdowns, including a spectacular scamper just a week ago, in which he rolled right, looking to pass, then reversed course across the field and outran the entire Manchester defense to the end zone. His 597 yards rushing puts him second overall on the team, and he's done all that while sitting out 1.5 games this year at midseason after he was dinged up in Week 4. So all that in 8.5 games. If for whatever reason Levac is unable to play at any point, the backup is CVCA sophomore Alex Mamoni, who did engineer that Week 5 victory over Canton South. CVCA has a very talented stable of running backs that will be on full display tonight as well. The Royals keep it on the ground 84% of the time. And the number 1 option in the backfield is junior Joey Kopech, who already has 6 Division I offers, and he spent his Saturdays this fall as a recruiting guest on the sidelines of Ohio State, Michigan, and other Power 5 universities. Kopech enters tonight's game needing just 35 yards to register his second 1,000-yard rushing season of his career. His 965 yards from scrimmage lead the team, and he's second to Levac in rushing touchdowns with 9. Last week, to add to his many talents, he threw the first touchdown pass of his career, a 65-yard halfback option pass to Braden Harris, which broke the backs of the Manchester Panthers. This was just 1 week after he thrilled the Royals crowd with a Week 9 98-yard kickoff return for a touchdown against Orville before the half. But Kopech's one of many. He does all that damage while getting less than 1/3 of the carries out of the Royals' backfield. CVCA will rotate backs to run the ball, and senior Ryan Weehee has been really stepping up in the final month of the regular season. Weehee has 3 touchdowns and a team-leading 8.9 yards per carry average, an average boosted by Week 8 when he took the first play from scrimmage that he touched 50 yards to the house in the 3rd play of the game. It set the tone on that night. We talked about the Northwest game already. The Royals ran for 504 yards as a team. There's no shortage of talented running backs in the Royals roster. Junior Nick Schober returned to the offense last week after nursing an upper body injury at midseason. And Zach Anderson is also set to get a bunch of carries tonight as well. But right now we're going to pause and turn it over to public address announcer L.T. Newland, who will open this evening with some prayer and then the national anthem.
To you, the God of everything, the creator of all this evening, because we recognize tonight as a good gift from you. We're grateful for the opportunity to come together as communities and to rally around the game of football. Pray that we would use our gifts and talents and abilities to honor you here this evening. God, we thank you that you've given us the invitation to come to you, all of us who are weary, heavy laden, and we can find rest for our souls. Ultimately, we find that rest in Jesus' sacrifice on our behalf. We're so grateful for what he has done for us, and he has repaired that broken relationship with you. And we just pause to say thanks. It's for him that we play. In his name we pray. Amen.
We are getting close to football, playoff football on a Friday night from Royal Stadium in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio. This is Tim Nichols We're about 4.5 minutes away. Continue on with the pregame coverage. CVCA's defense has had a good run this season as well. They gave up 342 yards on the ground in the season opener against Streetsboro, but have only given up an average of 77 yards a game in weeks 2 through 9. Joey Kopech, in addition to his run game prowess, leads the team with 66 tackles and 5 interceptions from his linebacker spot. The Royals get pressure up front from Draylon Price, a senior, a team leading 6 tackles for loss, as well as Dirk Geiger, who makes a living in the backfield with 18 quarterback pressures. On the other side of the field, University School is here, and their defense is going to have to play well tonight against the Royals. Their offense is led by junior quarterback Carson Pantek. He's in his first year starting for the Preppers and is one half of the Pantek twins combination that suits up for University School. His brother Caleb starts at wide receiver. Last week, Pantek, the quarterback, threw for 174 yards and 4 touchdowns in the win against Howland, and that helped the Preppers clinch their playoff berth. He's passed for 893 yards in the season with 11 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Big junior tight end Matteo Morelli wears number 8. Caught a touchdown pass last week, and he's the leading receiver on the team with 19 receptions for them, going for 6. He's an imposing target, 6'4", 215 pounds. The Preppers have a solid running back in 5'11", 195-pound senior Mikey Malone. He's rushed for 702 yards this season and had one of his best games a week ago against Howland when he carried the ball 25 times for 133 yards. And they changed it up by getting the ball in the hands of their playmaker, senior Cam Shiver, who can turn on the Jets. He's got a 4.7 40. He can run away from most defenses. He did that last week on a 67-yard touchdown blast on Friday night against Howland. Finally, there's sophomore athlete Tyler Robinson. He's the kind of player you have to get on the field. He's listed as a wide receiver, a quarterback, punt returner, and a kick returner. Last week, he hauled in a 63-yard bomb from Pantek for a score. It was a good night for the Preppers a week ago, but it's been feast or famine for that U.S. offense. 5 wins, they averaged 35.6 points. In the 5 defeats, they've been shut out twice and averaged just 4.6 points a game. The Royals record book, Joey Kopech now 6th all-time with 2,707 yards rushing. He needs 214 yards to move into 5th place and pass 2002 graduate Teddy Harris. Senior kicker Calvin Warren continues to move up the list in career point after touchdowns. He's got 134. That's 40 behind his predecessor, Bryce Keitlinger. This is the first meeting between these two schools. The Preppers are coached by 1996 University School graduate Ben Malbasa, who's in his 10th season as head coach at his alma mater. Malbasa is 54-44 at US in those 10 years, and this is his 6th time leading the Preppers to the playoffs before coming to US and coming home, that is. The John Carroll graduate held head coaching jobs at Elyria Catholic, Benedictine, and NDCL. He's got a career record of 106 wins, 78 losses. He's 3-9 overall in the playoffs. On the home sideline, head coach Nick Cook's in his 4th year here with CVCA. He's 28-15 with the Royals. He got his 50th career win in that win earlier this year against Woodridge. He's now 57-48 overall as a head coach, but 0-3 in the playoffs, looking for his first victory tonight. Prior to returning to Northeast Ohio in 2021, he spent 6 years turning around the program at Chicago Christian High School, and he founded and coached 1 season early in his career at Grove City Christian High School in Franklin County here in Ohio. Before we get started, be sure to follow us across social media by searching on the social media handle at CVCA Livestream on X, on Instagram, and on Facebook. And we know you're watching us tonight on NFHS Network, but we want you to follow us on YouTube as well. Our YouTube channel can be found at CVCA Livestream as well. The weather tonight, it's playoff weather. And we'll get to that in a moment because here come the Royals. All black tonight for CVCA. They like to call that the absence of hope for the other team, and the Royals hope to bring it to US tonight. That weather, it's playoff weather, partly cloudy and cold. 48 degrees at game time. It'll continue to drop into the mid-40s. Winds light out of the northwest. We are ready for football on a Friday night, Week 11 playoff Week 1, CVCA and US. The Royals will kick off first, and back deep to receive for University School should be number 6, Tyler Robinson, and also number 22, Travis Phillips, a junior. Robinson, a sophomore. Calvin Warren is the kicker for CVCA, and you see the Royals huddle up. We're just about ready to go. Win or go home. It's Week 11 playoff football from Royal Stadium on the east side of Cuyahoga Lake Road. You're watching CVCA live stream on the NFHS network. Warren receives the football from the referee tonight. Crowd still filing in on the Royals sideline. They're all bundled up. A small crowd across the way. The Royals feign that onside kick. U.S. is seated on film, and they drop back. Warren will kick off. Robinson and Phillips ready to receive. It's a short kick taken by an up man at the 25-yard line, and we're underway. The return is out to the 34-yard line, and U.S. in their all-white Stormtrooper look. It's going to go right to left tonight. All white uniforms, maroon numerals, ensconced in black white helmets with a maroon stripe. CVCA all black, royal blue numbers. White casing around those numbers, black helmets with the CVCA Blue Lion logo. Pantak, the quarterback, will lead the preppers, and he'll start out of the shotgun. He's got a couple of receivers to the top side, single receiver near side. Mikey Malone switches to the right side of Pantak. And Malone will get the first run of the night. He's across the 35 and bottled up. He'll pick up a 3 or 4 before a host of Royals take him down. And right on top of that pile is senior Draylon Price. It's a pickup of 4 from Malone off that left side. And Price was there to grab his jersey, and then he was met by 4 other Royals who brought him to the ground. 2nd down and 6, just underway, first quarter here from Royal Stadium. Now it's a trio of receivers to the top side on the hash mark. Malone again shifts to the right of Pantak out of the shotgun. Malone will get it again out near the 40. I'm not sure he got there. We'll see where they mark it. They're going to be marked just shy of the 40-yard line. It's a pickup of just 1. 3rd down and 5 for U.S. Joey Kopech in there on the tackle for the Royals. 3rd and 5 for CVCA. Check that for U.S. Royals trying to get off the field quickly here. This time Malone to the left of Pantak. And again, switches to the right. In motion is the big tight end, Mateo Morelli. Moves to the right side. And they'll look to throw it. Pantak looks to his left, throws, lofts, and it is intercepted by CVCA on the near sideline. It's Tommy Kopech with a takeaway for the Royals. Tommy Kopech for CVCA, the freshman, ranged in front of that pass. And the Royals, with the first takeaway of the contest, will have great field position from the U.S. 48-yard line. Here it is again. Pantak looked right and then turned left, tossed that ball in the air. Kopech was right there in front of the intended receiver, who was number 3, Cooper Rehak, and CVCA. 1st down and 10 from the 49-yard line on their own side of the field. Charlie Levac under center. He's going to hand off. Joey Kopech gets the first carry of the contest, keeps those legs moving. He'll pick up 3 yards. 2nd down and 7 for CVCA. We mentioned CVCA runs at 84% of the time, so a steady die of the run to be expected tonight, but Levac can throw it. He's operating out of the shotgun on this 2nd down play. He's going to run a counter play. Kopech across the 45, burrows forward across the 40, and he's got enough for a 1st down. He'll pick up 8 yards. And the Royals move the chains for their first down of the night. 1st and 10 from the University School 40-yard line. Kopech with those 11 yards in the first 2 carries, getting closer and closer to that 1,000-yard mark on the season. Levac runs left, looks for the corner. He's got the 40, tries to outrun one of the preppers, does, and scampers out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. We'll wait for the spot. They're going to mark it back at the 37-yard line, so a pickup of 3. Mikey Malone was in there to usher Levac to the sideline in front of the U.S. bench. 2nd and 7 for CVCA. Early first quarter, Tommy Kopech, an interception on the first pass of the night from the quarterback from U.S., Carson Pantek. 2nd and 7 for Charlie Levac and the Royals. Levac will operate under center here. Handoff up the middle, across the 35. A pile burrows forward to the 32, maybe the 31. The Royals will have 3rd and short. It was Joey Kopech on the carry. Give him 5. It's 3rd and 2 for CVCA. Just the 3rd home playoff game in school history for CVCA, 2019, 2020, and I checked up the 4th, 2019, 20, 22, and now 24. The 3rd down play is across the left side, and enough for the first down for CVCA. They'll move the sticks once again. It was Kopech again. He got 3. The tackle for U.S. made by number 44, Christopher Fiorito. CVCA now on the 29-yard line of the Preppers. If you just joined us, this is Team 135, the oldest high school football program in the state of Ohio, making their first appearance ever at CVC tonight, the University School. And a flag is down, the first one of the contest. And we'll wait for the call. It's a false start against CVCA. They'll march them back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15 for the Royals. The Royals had a hard-fought victory last week against Manchester. Manchester came in undefeated, 9-0, and the Royals won that game 17-6. If they had one thing to clean up, though, it was a number of penalties that occurred in that game, and they have another one right there. 1st down and 15 on a pre-snap penalty. Levac will run to the right side, trying to get to the corner, cuts up field, skips, and out across the 30-yard line, back close to the original line of scrimmage. He's going to pick up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Here's the replay from the field level. You see Levac making that jump cut and getting to the 29-yard line. Single back in the backfield. Levac under center. Single wide receiver to the far side. They'll go right up the middle. And a 5-yard carry, a broken tackle. 20, 15, 10, 5, still going, and down at the 1-yard line for Joey Kopech. A 28-yard run for Joey Kopech. And that does put him over 1,000 yards, just shy of the end zone. It's 1st and goal for CVCA. Officially, they mark it on the 3-yard line, so 26 yards on that play. 1st and goal, Royals from the 3. As you watch Kopech, the Royals back under center, and they're ready to go. Handoff is up the middle, and the Preppers stop that one. It'll be 2nd and goal. Joey Kopech again. Scoreboard says 2nd and goal from the 1, and that's what you see on your screen. The naked eye shows it's probably the 2. So we'll give Kopech 1 yard. We're going to call it 2nd and goal from the 2. Again, Levac under center. Quarterback sneak. He leans forward. The referees and side judges look in and run in. Still no signal. Touchdown, CVCA! We had to wait a little bit for that call, but Charlie Levac is into the end zone. His 11th rushing touchdown of the season. A 2-yard plunge, and CVCA strikes first tonight, 6-0. Here it is on the replay. Ryan Weehee was like, he's in the end zone, touchdown. And you get it from the side, looking right down, and you see Levac into the end zone right there. We've got it live on the replay for you. The kick is botched. They're going to try and score on a 2-point conversion, and the Preppers will stop it on the misplay on the 2-point attempt. So, 6:27 to go, and you'll watch it again here Alex Mamoni tried to get to the end zone. Could not handle the snap, so the PAT is no good. 6:27 to go in the first quarter. The Royals lead it 6-0. So a good start for CVCA, an interception by Tommy Kopech. A 2-yard touchdown plunge by Charlie Levac. The PAT fails, and the Royals are out in front by 1 score. If you found us tonight on NFHS Network, we're glad that you are here with us. And that means you've subscribed and you have access to games from all around the country. But we hope you like CVCA live streams coverage the best. But do look around. You can watch NFHS broadcasts in multiple sports from all over the United States. Another pooch kick on the kickoff is taken at the 34-yard line. And Robinson moved up for that one. Robinson all the way out across the 45-yard line. So obvious that the Preppers have scouted that pooch kick, and they move Robinson, their normal return man, from the back line all the way up to the up man position. But he is down right now, and this is concerning for the Preppers. Tyler Robinson is one of the key players for this U.S. team. And hopefully he will be okay. Robinson is up, and he's going to head off to the sideline. It looks like no worse for wear there as we look for U.S. to start this drive on the 45-yard line. Robinson is the 3rd leading rusher for U.S. this season, and also dangerous in a pass-catching standpoint. He's caught 15 balls this season. Preppers will start their second drive from the 45-yard line. They're down 6-0. Once again, Carson Pantek in the shotgun. Pitch play. Malone, nothing there. Stacked up at the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Once again, it's Draylon Price. They're going to give Malone 1 yard on that carry. 2nd and 9.
Walked right past you. I'm sorry. Good to see you.
Past the halfway mark of the first quarter now. Royals 6, Preppers nothing. 2nd and 9 on the second drive for University School. This time they'll split 2 out to the near side. And a flag is down. It's encroachment against CVCA. And so a free 5 yards for U.S. The Royals give up. It'll be 2nd down and 4. The first snap of the ball game in CVCA territory for U.S. Trips to the near side on the near hash mark. Malone to the left of Pantek in the backfield. And Malone will get it across midfield, but again, not much cooking right there for U.S. Maybe a yard for Mikey Malone. They won't even get that much. No gain. Joey Kopech, Dirk Geiger in there on the tackle for CVCA. Also Luke Keeler back after missing the game last week. He's been a cog in that CVCA defense from his nose tackle spot. 3rd down for U.S. Looking for their first down of the contest. Same formation, trips to the near side. Malone to the left of Pantek. He'll look to throw it, looking near side, throws, and it's complete to his brother. 1st down for Caleb Pantek, the first pass reception of the night. Down to the 41-yard line. And a 1st down. They'll mark it right at the 40. 1st and 10 U.S. from the CVCA 40-yard line. First pass completion of the night for Pantek. A Pantek to Pantek combination. Sure that's happened in the backyard a time or 200. And he'll look to throw again. Looking right now, going through his reads. Left side tipped by one of the Royals linebackers. I think that was Tommy Kopech again. It might have been Ryan Weehee. Incomplete, 2nd down and 10. 4:05 to go now, first quarter.
Testing 1 2. Testing 1 2. We're the black team. They're black and blue. Black and blue.
2nd and 10. Pantak looking for the end zone. A big long throw, and it is broken up out there. Nice play in the defense by Nathan Cook, and it was Caleb Pantak, and he's going to have to think about that one as he's slow to get up. We'll watch the replay right here. Carson was trying to lead his brother Caleb, who was tracking it, but he was not tracking Nathan Cook, who laid the wood, and it's 3rd down and 10. On the 3rd down play, 2 receivers to the far side, single receiver on the numbers on the near side. Malone offset to the right. Pantak rolls right, and he's going to be swallowed up for a sack. The ball is out and recovered in the backfield by Mikey Malone. It's a sack for CVCA and a fumble. Dirk Geiger gets the sack for the Royals. And CVCA turns away the U.S. Preppers on this drive. Third sack of the season for Geiger, and they'll punt. U.S. will punt from the 41-yard line, and the boot is away. And it's going to bounce. It will be fielded by CVCA, and quickly, no return. Good coverage by U.S. Zach Anderson on the reception of the punt return opportunity there. Did not get much. A nice punt by Matteo Morelli, the 6'4", 215-pound tight end, who is also the punter for U.S. Good job by Anderson right there to stop that ball from going deeper into Royals territory down inside the 10-yard line. So CVCA has a long field this time, 1st and 10 from the 8-yard line. And they'll line up in the T formation, which is a staple of the CVCA offense with 3:08 to go. Handoff left side through the first hole into the second level. A big run for the Royals and a big gain for Ryan Weehee. All the way out to about the 28-yard line, a 20-yard gain for Weehee. They'll mark it right at the 30, so 22 yards officially for Weehee. 1st and 10 Royals, and they get out of the shadow of their own goalpost. All it took was one play. Back to the T formation. Levac this time, they'll go right. Another nice run for CVCA, another 1st down. This one's Zach Anderson. Anderson will pick up 12. Now they'll move it back 11 yards officially for Zach Anderson. 1st and 10 from the 41. First and 10 Royals. This time left. Weehee again, 45. Out near midfield, the Royals carving up the Preppers defense this time. On the 3 consecutive plays, they're all the way out to the 48-yard line of U.S. It's a pickup of 11 more yards for CVCA's running game. $50 yards in just a handful of plays for the Royals, and they are moving into U.S. territory. This time Levac will fake the handoff. He's going to run to the right side, and he'll still fall forward for a couple of yards. A 2-yard gain for Levac. As we wind down to 90 seconds to go here in the first quarter, Royals leading 6-0. Royals break the huddle. Same formation for CVCA. This time right side. And US was ready for it, so a couple of good plays for University School. Still a pickup of 3. It's 3rd down and 5. Joey Kopech on that carry for the Royals. 3rd and 5 for CVCA. They need the US 38-yard line to convert and move the sticks and keep this drive going as we enter the final minute of quarter number 1. Left side run with Weehee and a first down for Ryan Weehee and more. He's running through tacklers all the way down. To the 33-yard line. A 10-yard gain for Weehee. First down for the Royals as you watch it again from ground level. Down to 20 seconds. We'll see if the Royals can get off one more play here before the end of the first quarter. And they will. Right up the gut. Right side. And another good push by the CVCA offensive line. That was Wesley Keeler on the carry. And he's going to get 5 yards as we run to the end of the first quarter. The score at the end of 1 quarter of play, it's CVCA, the 3 seed, 6. And the 14th seeded University School Preppers, nothing. We go to the first intermission or first break. We've got hockey on the mind with intermissions. Hockey's coming up. But tonight is football. We want to thank you for tuning in tonight and for some of you for all 5 years of our coverage of CVCA Livestream, CVCA Athletics. Professional production with 100% volunteer staffing. CVCA Livestream began as an idea about how to get sporting events into your living room during COVID, and we've done over 150 broadcasts since then, fully volunteer from the start, but our budget's about $5,000 a year, and we have not asked anyone to help with that before now, but we are asking you to help support CVCA Livestream for the first time this year. If you'd be offering, or if you'd be willing, we'd love for you to go to the CVCA website and give through the CVCA giving interface at cvcaroyals.org/give now, or get your camera out, take a picture of that screen, scan that QR code, it'll take you right to the website. You can give to support CVCA Livestream. Your gifts are tax deductible. They go directly to supporting our production. Just be sure when you're there on the website, reference CVCA Livestream in the comments section when you give. That will allow the folks that process those gifts to make sure they get to the right place. We thank you for watching and thank you for supporting CVCA Livestream. The teams have switched sides. Royals going right to left now. They're going to have 2nd down and 4 after that Wesley Keeler carry at the end of the first quarter. And they'll continue to keep it on the ground. Weehee with another first down and more. Weehee still going and touchdown Royals! Ryan Weehee takes it to the house for CVCA, his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and the Royals' lead is 12. A 28-yard touchdown run for Ryan Weehee as he got to the right side and outran the defense into the end zone. The Royals are on the board again, and they will set up to go for 2 after that missed extra point the first time around. Under center, Levac will keep it, running left, and he's going to get bottled up, and the Royals will fail on a second 2-point attempt conversion. The first one, a bit of a fire drill. This one, not so much. Neither of them worked. And with 11:51 to go in the second quarter, the score is CVCA 12 and US nothing. Ryan Weehee on the 28-yard touchdown run. That's going to give us a break at a time to look at stats here at the end of the first quarter and 1 play. 12-0 CVCA, and the yards are wrong. So we're going to take that off and we're going to refresh it and we'll bring it back up. And there we go with the updated stats. All CVCA at the end of the first quarter, 148 yards rushing to 2. No passing yards, so 148 to 9. The Royals dominating that 1 turnover, an interception by Tommy Kopech. and it's 12-0 Royals at the end of 1 quarter and 1 play. CVCA will kick off again. And they fake that onside kick. They have actually executed the onside kick off that fake twice this season. So teams do have to pay attention to it. This time Warren's going to boot it straight down the field. And it will be taken again by an up man, number 2. That's Colin Milbourne. He does not get far. Taken down at about the 28-yard line. Luke Keeler down there on the tackle. And U.S. now trailing 12-0. And they'll see if they can get something going. They keep the same formation with trips to the far side. Up in the hash mark. Malone to the right. Pantek. They put a man in motion, fake the jet sweep, throw, and they're looking for the tight end. They hit him, and it's a big play for U.S. It's Morelli all the way out to the 45-yard line of CVCA. Biggest play of the night, a pickup of 27 yards for the leading receiver, the tight end, Matteo Morelli. His 20th reception of the season, and that's a big one to move the chains and get into CVCA territory. Morelli, 6'4", 215 pounds. He's had a good season for U.S. 1st and 10 from the Royals' 45-yard line. Pantek hands off to Malone. He barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. They'll give him 1 yard. And Malone's struggle continues into the teeth of that CVCA defense. That is his 6th carry for 3 yards. Second and 9 from the 44-yard line of the Royals. Early second quarter. The Royals have had it twice and they've scored twice. The last drive, a 98-yard drive after U.S. at least had switched the fields on an exchange of a punt. U.S. trying to answer here. 2nd and 9. They'll throw. Long pass, and it is incomplete. Just over the outstretched arms of Tyler Robinson. Out in coverage for CVCA was Nick Schober.
I think this sack was actually
So 3rd down and 9. The U.S. again sends 3 receivers up to the top side. Malone offset to the right. And they will throw. Pantek looks to his left, tosses, throws, and once again in and out, and a big hit. As the pass is broken up, incomplete, and it's 4th down. They were looking for Caleb Pantek once again, and he's had a rough night in the secondary, taking a couple of big hits. 4th down, and Morelli will likely be out to punt once again. Whistles blow, and it's a timeout. Timeout for University School. And so with the first timeout of the first half, it's going to give us a chance to talk about the Royals Power Meal program. And that Power Meal program has continued with Team 29. It continues here into the playoffs with a local restaurant providing the Royals with a meal on the day before the game. This week's Power Meal sponsor is Texas Roadhouse in Stowe, located at 4310 Lake Point Corporate Drive, just off Steele's Corner, the exit of Route 8. Everything's made fresh from scratch, even the bacon bits, the croutons, and the dressings. Hand-cut steaks, they fall off the bone, ribs. Legendary food, legendary service starts with taking no shortcuts. Texas Roadhouse takes pride in every plate they serve. Is your mouth watering yet? Well, if it is, stop on down this weekend to Texas Roadhouse in Stone. When you do, be sure to thank them for their support of Royals football and the Royals Power Meal program. It is 4th down, and it looks like the Preppers are going to go for it. They keep the offense on the field. Pantek in the shotgun. Morelli shifts to the left side of the formation. And they're going to throw on 4th and 9. Pantek rolls to his left, tosses, and it is in and out of the hands, dropped again. CVCA will take over on downs. Tyler Robinson was the intended receiver, and he needed to haul that one in. The Preppers needed that big time. Here it is again. Pantek had some time. He rolled to his left, through, and Robinson could not make the catch. The Royals will take over 1st down and 10 once again with great field position from their own 44-yard line. 3rd possession of the night for CVCA. They've scored touchdowns on both of their first 2 possessions, but have a 12-0 lead, chasing the points after a missed PAT exchange on the first touchdown. 2nd 2-point attempt also no good. And they start this drive off with a run to the left side. Joey Kopech will get a pair of yards. 2nd down and 8 for the Royals. If you're enjoying the scores across the bottom of the screen, we've got all the scores from Division III Region 9, as well as all the scores from CVCA's opponents this year in the PAC and those North Coast Conference teams that are in play tonight, going across the screen. Another run up the middle for CVCA. And that's Zach Anderson. Anderson will pick up 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and a short 5 for the Royals. They spot it just past the 49, just shy of midfield. CVCA needs the 44-yard, no, check that, the 46-yard line of US to move the chains on this drive. Levac will throw, lofts it, and too high over the intended receiver, Ryan Weehee. So 4th down for the Royals, and they'll have to punt for the first time tonight. Calvin Warren is out and back deep to receive. Looks like it's Tyler Robinson, number 6. Warren will take it on his 38. He gets a high spiraling kickoff, and it's going to bounce and take a CVCA, well, it won't take a roll. It'll go right out of bounds. Turn left to right on the 21-yard line. 30 yards on the punt, no return, and US will take over 1st down and 10 with 8:46 to go. So US gets the first 3 and out against CVCA with their defense. And once again, they'll see if they can generate some offense. One big play tonight, the 27-yard catch by Matteo Morelli, but that's been it. And they'll pass once again. Incomplete it goes again. A rough start so far for Carson Pantek. 2 for 9, 34 yards and an interception. Second and 10 from the 21-yard line. They'll run it with Malone. And again, not much, although it does keep those legs moving. Gets out near the 25-yard line. It might be one of his better runs of the night, actually. He does. A pickup of 4, 3rd down and 6. Malone running behind an offensive line made up of Bobby Berglund at left guard, Theo Dangler at left tackle, Caden Zelenak, sorry about that, Caden, the center, Griffin Koch, and Solomon Smart on the right side. Now 3rd down and 6. And they'll throw. Quick pass caught and tackled right at the 30-yard line. I think they're going to be short by about a yard. The catch made by number 2, Colin Milbourne. Check that, it was 12, Caleb Pantek. Nick Schober on the tackle, and it will be 4th down. They'll go quickly. Quick pass completed far side, and a 1st down for U.S. Pantek to Pantek again. It goes from the quarter for U.S. They'll go back to Malone. And this time the Royals defense is there, a short gain. He'll pick up 2 down to the 38-yard line. It's 2nd down and 8. For University School, finds the painted end zone paint. It's a little redundant, but he does find the blue paint is what we're trying to say. And Mateo Morelli's in to kick the extra point. The holder is Caleb Pantek. The snap's down, and this kick is up. And it's good. So U.S. with an answer. Their best drive of the night. It ends in a touchdown, and just past the midway part of the 2nd quarter, the Royals' lead is trimmed to 12-7. For Mikey Malone, he adds another touchdown rush to his totals on the year. That's his 7th rushing touchdown of the season for the senior.
Oh, look at that.
So CVCA cannot get complacent. They're in a ball game. Royals 12. The Preppers 7. First time the kicking off for U.S. tonight. And again, Mateo Morelli does the punting and the kicking, the place kicking and the kicking off. For CVCA, it's Joey Kopech and Zach Anderson back deep. Morelli's going to pooch it to the near side, and it will bounce, and it will go out of bounds, fortunately for the Royals. Kickoff out of bounds. Royals should get it on the 35-yard line. Although the referees are not spotting the ball as a kickoff out of bounds. They're saying it touched one of the Royals' receivers, and they're going to spot it on about the 11-yard line. That worked out fantastically if you are a fan of the University School Preppers. That is the call, no penalty. 1st and 10 CVCA from their own 12 officially. So they're backed up once again. Levac will hand off right side. They keep it on the ground, and the Royals' ground game still churning. Zach Anderson on the carry for CVCA. He's going to pick up 4 yards. 2nd and 6. He's out to the 16-yard line. On 2nd down, another short rush for the Royals.
Number 8, senior Ryan Weehee.
Third down for the Royals. And up the middle they go. 1st down yardage for CVCA. They'll move the chains.
Number 20, Joey Kopech. That's good for Royals. 1st down.
1st down for Joey Kopech. They spot the ball out at the 26-yard line. Out of the tee. Right up the middle for CVCA. And this worked on the 2nd drive out of the tee formation. The Royals went 92 yards for a touchdown. Zach Anderson picks up another 5 for CVCA. Clock down to 4 minutes. Both teams with their full allotment of 3 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Winner gets the winner of Chardon and Talmadge. We're playing tonight up at Chardon in the 6-11 game. Left side run into the second level for CVCA, all the way out across the 45 to the 46-yard line. First down, Royals. A pickup of 16 yards for number 5 for CVCA. That's Nick Schober. After that 15-yard gain for Schober, first down and 10. Levac will roll to his right, throws, quick pass. Draylon Price has it, breaks a tackle across the 45-40. Price still lumbering down the field, inside the 30 and down to the 22-yard line. 32 yards on the catch and run, but is there a flag down? Teams are moving back, and there is a flag down on the play. The catch is going to be complete to Price. It is going to be a block down field, it looks like. It looks like they will march the flag off. I'll wait to see where they spot it. First and 5 officially. So the flag was 15 yards down the field. It is officially a 15-yard catch, not a 28-yard catch, and a 10-yard penalty. So after all the arithmetic, it's first down and 5 for CVCA. Royals will run it on first and 5, and they'll be close to the first down. Zach Anderson gets 4 yards on that first and 5, second and less than a yard. They'll spot it right at the 45-yard line. Clock continues to wind down to 2:40 to go here in the first half. CVCA leading 12-7. Across the left side into the second level. First down yardage again for the Royals. Ryan Weehee. A 9-yard gain for Weehee down to the 36-yard line. The Royals will now go quickly. Levac under center and whistles blow. It's a timeout, University School. They'll use their second timeout of the half, I believe. Officially, it's the first timeout of the half on the scoreboard. But as they do call timeout, that's going to give us an opportunity to thank our friends at MediaNet. MediaNet AV, empowering your vision, advanced technology, exceptional service. Unleash the power of your ideas with MediaNet AV. We blend cutting-edge technology and superior service to create custom audio-visual solutions tailored just for you. For more information, you can contact Zach and his team at 330-656-5205 or visit them online at MediaNetAV.com. MediaNet AV, they help out schools, they help out churches, they help out just about anybody with some big-time technology needs. Cameras, live streams, you just about name it. Check them out, MediaNetAV.com. They're here in Northeast Ohio, Northwest Pennsylvania, and upstate New York. And we are indebted to them helping us throughout our 5-year journey here on CVCA Livestream. All right, so it is officially first and 10 for the Royals, and that was the second timeout. They had not recorded the first one on the board, so U.S. has 1 remaining. And the Royals will fake the run. Levac looking to pass, launches it. He's got a man open and overthrows the intended receiver, Draylon Price. So it is second down and 10. Levac has overthrown Price and Weehee on his last 2 attempts. 2 of his last 3 attempts. He had the nice pass, catch, and run to Price a moment ago that was brought back due to the penalty. Halftime coming up here at Royal Stadium. We're excited to be able to talk to CVCA girls volleyball coach Brian McKnight. We'll get to that in just a moment, but right now, another big run for the Royals run game. Tommy Kopech in there on the carry for the Royals. He's going to pick up 8 yards, 2nd and 2 for the Royals. 2 minutes left in the first half. They'll spot the ball, the 29-yard line. The Royals moving, but they've got to move quick to get to the end zone. Left side run. Again through the first level. Big pancake block downfield by one of the Royals. First down yardage as they bundle the pile. Ryan Weehee on the carry. First down to the inside the 25. They go quickly again into that second level again. Still on his feet and legs moving. And whistles blowing. It looks like it was Joey Kopech, and he's pushed to the ground. And a flag comes down for a late hit. It helps the Royals. It stops the clock, and it's going to be 15 yards against the Preppers. Or it won't be. They're going to take the flag away. No flag called. So they wave it off. A call that is not met with enthusiasm by the crowd here at Royal Stadium on the home side. And they wind the clock down to 1:26, 2nd and 1, a 9-yard gain for Kopech. Down to the 15-yard line, 80 seconds to go, first half. Levac hands off right side, 5, and touchdown, CVCA! It's Tommy Kopech on the touchdown for the Royals. And they punch another one in here right before the first half closes. Third touchdown of the season for the freshman, Tommy Kopech. You see him cut back to his left right here. He broke one tackle downfield. Tyler Robinson could not haul him down, and Kopech is into the end zone standing. So the Royals lead 18-7, and for the third time in this first half, they're going to go for 2, chasing the points. Out of the T formation, Levac rolls to his right, throws to the end zone, and it's caught. It's good. A 2-point conversion. Carter Walker. 2nd down and 7. They'll give him 4, so 2nd and 6. Another quick pass play. Pantak looking, going through his motions. And it's caught and dropped. And they will call it incomplete. Caleb Pantek looked like he was trying to run upfield before he had fully brought that ball into his breadbasket. So the clock stops with 40.5 seconds to go here in the first half. The Royals leading 20-7, and now it's third down. Royals still have 3 timeouts. So we'll see if CVCA can force a 4th down here. 3rd and 6. Carson Pantak waits alone to his right. He's going to throw, looks, and tosses as far as he can downfield, and it is incomplete. Ranging under it was number 22 for U.S., that's Travis Phillips. A quick 3 and out, and the Preppers will have to punt with 35 seconds to go here in the first half. Zach Anderson back deep for CVCA. Out to kick is the big guy, Matteo Morelli, the junior. Anderson, if he can field the ball cleanly, has the ability to take it back. It's a low snap. Morelli gets it off, and it's going to be a kick that bounces and goes straight up in the air and is downed immediately on the 35-yard line by University School. The Royals will have 26.9 seconds to try and do something. We'll see what that means. Last week, they unveiled the halfback option pass just before halftime and hit Braden Harris on a 65-yard touchdown going the other direction. The same exact distance they are away from the end zone right now, but it looks like they are in safe mode. CVCA in a bunch formation, and Levac is going to throw. Rolls to his left, tosses, and it's complete. Enough for a first down. It is Braden Harris on the catch. He picks up 11. 19.2 seconds to go.
First and 10 for the Royals. Timeout on the field. CVCA.
And CVCA calls timeout. Not touchdown. I keep doing that. Gabe Laurie on replay is looking over at me, cracking up because I did that last week. There it is. Timeout. We use a button system here at CVCA live stream. And the touchdown button and the timeout button are both blue. And I think we need to change those buttons. But timeout Royals, their first of the half. They will have first down and 10 from their own 46-yard line. 19 seconds. If you're thinking field goal, Calvin Warren is the kicker for CVCA. He's probably got leg from about 40 yards out, although his longest field goal this season, I believe it's about 28 yards. We'll see if we can pull that up and how well my memory is. 3 for 4 in the season, 28 yards for a long. Pretty good memory. The one field goal that Warren did miss was blocked down at Northwest in week number 7. Right now, we'll see if the Royals can move down the field. They've got first and 10 from the 46. Levac rolls right, throws, and it's caught once again. Out of bounds, complete. And another first down for the Royals. It's Braden Harris once again. Another 11 yards. They're down to the 43-yard line of US now. So a 40-yard field goal would need to be at about the 23-yard line. Range. So out of the shotgun, a pair of receivers to either side. Another receiver in the slot. Levac rolls to his left. Looks. Another first down. And down to the 32-yard line. So now they need about 9 yards to get to the outside of Warren's field goal range. They've got 9 seconds left, still 2 timeouts. They've got to be quick. They've gone to Harris 3 times in a row. Levac rolls right, throws, caught, and they've got to get down. They do, and the timeout with 1.1 seconds to go. It's Harris again. And another first down. And what a job by CVCA, who is a run-first team, to go fast in the playoffs. Nice job down to the 15-yard line. Pick up a 17 on that last one. You see it right here. Harris got open, got the catch, and got downfield and down with 1.1 seconds to go. So the line of scrimmage will be the 16-yard line. They'll snap the ball to Alex Mamoni, the holder. And the kick will come from the 23, tack on 10. It's a 33-yard field goal attempt for Calvin Warren. From the right hash mark. No wind. And here we go. Good snap. The kick is on its way, and it is good. At the end of the first half, Calvin Warren with a 33-yard field goal. And the Royals go to the break, leading by a score of 23-7. An outstanding 2-minute offense right there for CVCA. 23-7 CVCA. They scored on 4 of their 5 first-half drives, and they are in command at the half here from Royals Stadium. The 3 seed Royals 23, the 14th seed US Preppers 7. It is the Signs 330 halftime show as we welcome you to that. It's another outstanding halftime lineup for you this evening, including the CVCA Marching Band, a look at out-of-town scores. We'll have our regular segments like Royals at the next level and this day in Royals history. And we'll look again at the playoff picture in Division 3, plus our conversation with Brian McKnight, head girls volleyball coach from CVCA. But first, let's pause now for a word from Cuyahoga Valley Christian Academy. And we're just trying to get that video back up for you here. As we mentioned, halftime here at CVCA. And here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the field and welcome your CVCA Royals marching band.
Well, technical difficulties with the video tonight, but we can tell you that CVCA is a great place to be, and we would love to meet you. Visiting our campus will give you a closer look at what CVCA is all about. We host a number of admissions events throughout the year for prospective families just like you. There's plenty of opportunities to get a closer look, register for an event, or schedule a tour, or sign up for a shadow experience. Unfortunately, the last open house of the year of this fall semester was on the 24th of October, but there are 2 family preview nights coming up on November 7th and on the 12th. For more information or to sign up, please visit cvcaroyals.com, cvcaroyals.org/admissions. And now we're going to run that video from CVCA. Here you go. We're at halftime at Royal Stadium, and CVCA is leading University School 23-7. Right now, we're going to allow you to enjoy a little bit of the CVCA Royals marching band.
I'm not. I'm kidding. You guys are not very nice. It's a total joke.
You're not very nice.
God. Here's you guys take it, Joe.
I wish I could play everything off like a joke.
I'll play it off. I love you. You guys are unreal. Unreal.
Hey, you right by that microphone.
Halftime at Royal Stadium. You've been watching the CVCA Royals Marching Band.
Fans,
And now we're going to take a look at the out-of-town scores tonight in Region 9.
Parents, get ready to educate your kids and what it means to get up.
And those out-of-town scores, no report in from Youngstown, Cheney, Youngstown, Ursuline, so we'll have to check and see what we can get. Elsewhere, VASJ and Hawken 14-14. Hawken the higher seed, but VASJ was a big favorite. That's still early, a first quarter score. We'll wait for an update there. Aurora up big over Bedford, 21-0 as expected. Geneva, the home team and higher seed, leading Madison 14-3. Early, Kenston leading Maple Heights 7-0. And it looks like it'll be Chardon here next week if that score holds. The Chardon Hilltoppers with a 28-7 lead over Talmadge in the second quarter. They are the 6th seed and would be the opponent for CVCA if the Royals hold on next week. Now we'll go take a look at some CVCA athletic highlights over the last week or so. Boys soccer season ended, and CVCA fell to Kent Roosevelt a couple weeks back 3-1. They finished the season 11-5-1 with a runner-up finish in the North Coast Conference. North Coast Conference, easy for me to say. They did play 6 players on the all-conference teams. Ben Reske, Daniel Suarez, and Alex Ott were North Coast Conference first-teamers. Jonathan Van Hella, Nick Myers, and Isaac Solomon took second-team and honorable mention awards. The season ended for the girls' soccer team last Saturday as the Lady Royals fell just short of a district championship. The 11th-seeded Royals were on the short end of a 1-0 score against the 3rd seed and 2023 state semifinalist Bay. The girls' soccer team finished the season as district runner-ups with a record of 12-5-3, their best season since 2017. Sam Anderson was the North Coast Conference Offensive Player of the Year. Senior goaltender Izzy Azone was the Defensive Player of the Year in the North Coast Conference. Anderson, Azone, and Chloe Kroslak were named first-team all-conference, while Audrey Haynes, Ainsley Radicke, and Maddie Solomon were also honored. Girls volleyball, well, their historic season came to a close last night in Norwalk. CVCA won its first district championship in 27 years. Amazingly, every single team from the North Coast Conference appeared in a district championship game. I'm not sure how that even happens, but the competition this season in the North Coast Conference was outstanding. 4 of those teams advanced to the regional round, the Sweet 16 in the state of Ohio. The Royals came up against a familiar opponent last night, fellow conference member NDCL, who had swept the season series, giving up just 1 set to CVCA in the regular season. But the Royals made them earn it last night, taking NDCL to 5 sets. Unfortunately, it was not meant to be, and the Lions won the 5th and decisive set to advance to the regional championship. More on that in just a moment when we talk to head coach Brian McKnight. Cross-country teams competed last week in the regional tournament at Boardman High School last Saturday. And we're looking to qualify for the state championships after strong showings in the district tournament the week before. The boys team finished as regional runner-up with another impressive team showing, scoring 134 points on their way to second place, which was more than enough to qualify for states as a team. It's the 6th time the boys have qualified as a team for the state championship. The girls also earned a trip to state with their 4th place finish. They scored 160 points on the day. It's the 17th time the girls have qualified as a team for states. Senior Jana Cooley is now one of just 5 girls to individually qualify for the state meet all 4 years of her career. The OHSAA cross-country state championships will be held tomorrow at Fortress Obetz and Memorial Park on Saturday, that is tomorrow, in Columbus. Girls tennis wrapped up their season a couple weeks back with 5 CVCA girls tennis players qualifying for the Division II district tournament. And while golf season has been over for some time, there was news this week. Senior Cord Stegmeyer was named to the Northeast Ohio Division II All-District team yesterday. And now I am pleased to be joined up in the booth with CVCA girls volleyball coach Brian McKnight. Coach, welcome back. It's been a couple of years since you've been here. How do you like the digs?
Yeah, nice. Wow, this is really impressive.
We have we've kind of tried to do improvement each year. It sounds like you've done the same thing with the girls volleyball program. What a season this year.
Yes.
First district championship since 1997.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Talk about this group of girls you've been able to coach this year.
Yeah, it's it definitely is a special group of girls. It starts with the seniors, Holly Hendricks, Reese Donahoe, Jenna Shedden, and Ellie Zuckler, who really just were leaders on and off the court and really drove us and led us, really showed us what it takes to compete at a high level, and then followed by some underclassmen who really stepped up this season, and it really opens up a bright future for the program.
Absolutely. When did you know that you had something special this year?
Yeah, I think I realized it when we went five sets and lost in the 5th set to Lake Catholic, who was the 2-time state champion, and we lost 15-13 in that 5th set. And I realized, even though we fell short, I just felt like this was a special team.
Absolutely. So Lake Catholic, you just mentioned it, 2-time defending state champions, and we've moved into the North Coast Conference this season. You've got Lake Catholic.
Yes.
You got NDCL, who you've bounced up against 3 times,
Yes.
and you gave them everything they can handle last night.
We did.
And I mentioned before in the preview that or the overview, all 7 teams made districts.
Yeah.
That's just unbelievable. I'm not
Yeah.
sure that's ever happened in the state before from one conference.
Yeah, I think it's iron sharpens iron. And I think the fact that we played this incredibly tough schedule prepared us to make the deep run into playoffs. Nothing that we came up against scared us or made us nervous or anything like that because of the competitive schedule we played.
That's fantastic. So we should recognize for our viewers, we went through all the all-conference players earlier. We're going to do it with you on screen here. Those all-conference accolades that your girls received this year, 4 were named to the NCC all-conference team, including Reese Donahoe and Hallie Hendricks. You mentioned them, first-teamers. Ellie Zuckler, second team, and Emily Dar, honorable mention. And then Donahoe, Hendricks, and Zuckler also all-district. I mean, you've got some talent that you've grown on this team. I mean, this is not the pack anymore.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, just to watch these athletes develop and grow. And I think the work ethic that they brought and drove us to really help us to compete at a high level was so impressive out of these girls. And all of the awards that they've won, it's just so well-deserved. Just so well-deserved, and I'm proud of them. And we just had a great season, not just on the court. We had a great season off the court, and so just really proud of them.
Talk about that. Well, what is for the viewers at home? What does that mean? A great season off the court?
Yeah, so we did things like we call it Faith Friday, where everybody on the team takes a Friday and shares a 5-minute testimonial about themselves and with their faith and a special verse that means something to them. We did some. We went to Texas Roadhouse, had a dinner. We brought in.
They are our Power Meal sponsor tonight. So we've already tipped our cap to them. Thank you, Texas Roadhouse, again.
Yeah, but just did things like that really were special. It probably started with MTP in my house, but just a special bonding on and off the court.
So how do you top this year? How do you continue to build?
Yeah, I think this season really helped us establish a culture of what it takes at practice, what it takes from a discipline standpoint, attention to detail, and we've got to take what we did this year and we got to continue that. Now that the seniors are graduating, we got to keep that culture going. We got to keep that kind of mentality as we head forward. We've got the players for it. Now we just need to put it all together.
Now you mentioned the seniors graduating. Reese Donahoe going 2,000 assists.
Yes.
Broke the records, blasted through the records in the record book at CVCA for assists. Going on to Wheaton, where I am going tonight. As soon as this game ends, we're headed to Wheaton for a football game tomorrow.
That's great.
But talk about Reese and her contribution to the CVCA program in volleyball.
I'll compare it to football. She's the quarterback. She's the quarterback on the floor. She runs the offense. She establishes what we're trying to do from a spacing standpoint. And so she just is an outstanding athlete, good leader. And just unbelievable setter and quarterback for our offense.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, congratulations again on a great season. I'm thrilled that you came out. Sorry it didn't turn out last night. I wish we didn't have this interview so you'd be preparing for a game tomorrow.
Right.
But that was not meant to be.
It wasn't.
5 sets, though, last night.
Yes.
I mean, talk about that match just before you go.
Yeah, in the first set, 24-23, we're serving for the win. Right, we're right there. Second set, we came out, won it in a close one, 26-24. In the third set, we fell to them. No panic on the team. We talked about one point at a time. Came out, won the fourth set, and then unfortunately in the fifth set, we just couldn't pull it out. But
ran out of a little gas, but
ran out a little gas. But man, did they play hard last night?
They
Those girls
did,
played hard.
and I know you had a big crowd out in Norwalk. It's not a short travel.
No,
it is They sent CVCA and NDCL to Norwalk, which is beyond the west side.
Yes.
So a late night and early day today.
Yep.
But still a fantastic season.
Thank you.
NCC again next year, so
Yes.
you got a lot more to get ready
We
for,
do.
but you've got a little time to think about it.
Indeed.
Coach, thanks for being our
Thank
guest
you for
tonight on the
having me.
Science 330 halftime show. It's head coach Brian McKnight from the CVCA girls volleyball program. You are watching CVCA live streams coverage of CVCA and University School playoff week number 1. The Royals leading 23-7 at halftime. We're back here at halftime. Coach McKnight headed out. Again, congratulations to the girls volleyball program. We're going to move ahead to Royals at the next level and talk about CVCA graduate Trey Tucker and update you on his travails with the Las Vegas Raiders. He had a couple of catches last week, 26 yards and 1 rushing play for 7 yards, but the Raiders came up short, 27-20 to the Chiefs. Trey Tucker and the Raiders are playing Sunday in the Buckeye State as the former Cincinnati Bearcat and his Raiders teammates kick off against the Bengals at 1 o'clock on Fox. At the collegiate level, Mountain Union went to 7-0 last week with a 42-13 win at Ohio Northern. 2024 graduates Ricky Levac and Logan Scranton are suiting up for Mountain Union. Tomorrow, the 4th-ranked Purple Raiders travel to Capital in Columbus for a 1:30 p.m. kickoff in the OAC. Marietta also undefeated at 7-0. They walloped Baldwin Wallace 47-7 last week on homecoming. That is where former Royals lineman Brandon Riley is attending school and playing football. They have a game tomorrow against Wilmington. It should be a tune-up for a big game next week, which will pit undefeated Marietta and undefeated Mount Union against each other, barring upsets tomorrow. Worcester Scots finally got a win last week, defeating Oberlin College 46-21 to move to 2-6. CVCA's Jordan Lewis played but did not catch a pass last week. He does have 2 touchdown receptions on the season there, and he's joined at Worcester by 2023 grad Dylan Byers. Tomorrow, Worcester travels to Hiram. And finally, former Royals wide receiver James Tisello is part of the Lindsey Wilson College team in Columbia, Kentucky. They play out of the NAIA's Mid-South Conference, and they had a bye last week, but tomorrow they are on the road at Cumberland University in Lebanon, Tennessee. And that does it for the Royals at the next level. Now we're going to move forward to this day in Royals history. Tonight's game is being played on November the 1st. It's November football time. The Royals are looking to break a pattern. CVCA is winless in 3 tries on this day in Royals history. Back in 2003, CVCA lost its first ever playoff game at Waynedale, 42-19. 10 years later, they lost a heartbreaker in the regular season finale at Manchester on the road, 21-20. And in 2019, it was Manchester again defeating the visiting Royals 27-7. So we're going to take a little bit of liberty tonight and look back at CVCA's first ever home playoff game that took place here at Royal Stadium on November the 9th, 2019 against the Salem Quakers. 16 years after that first playoff game on a chilly night at Royal Stadium, the party at midfield after the game proved to be worth the 16-year wait. The Royals dominated all 3 phases of the game, routing Salem 40-8 in a Division IV Region 13 quarterfinal contest. CVCA head coach Dan Larlin was dancing with a whistle after the game as the whole CVCA community joined him on the logo after the win. He said, "If you are standing on this logo tonight, you're a part of history." It was the first victory in the playoffs for the Royals program. The Royals marched the opening kickoff right down the field for a score when junior quarterback Michael Bevington capped a drive with a 1-yard touchdown plunge. You are looking at a still shot of that touchdown right there by Bevington 5 years ago. Running back Shane Douglas erupted for CVCA's next touchdown, a 34-yard tally with 5:13 to go in the first quarter. Down by 14, Salem looked to have an answer brewing, but Quakers quarterback Jackson Johnson was picked off in the end zone by the Royals' Austin Williams. The next 2 CVCA scores came off turnovers. The Quakers muffed a punt, and it was recovered by Kyle Snyder at the Salem 19-yard line with about 8 minutes to go in the half. That led to Bevington's second rushing touchdown on a 2-yard plunge with about 5:51 to go. And then after Salem's Cade Campolito fumbled, Bevington found Andre Price Jr., number 4 you see in the picture, with a 13-yard touchdown pass right before the half ended, and the Royals were up big. Junior Bryce Keitlinger accounted for all of CVCA's second half points. He nailed a pair of field goals to help the Royals invoke the running clock, and he kicked a 20-yard field goal with 4:21 left in the third. And then the final field goal was set up by the biggest play of the night when Bevington hit Lucas Novoselsky on a 64-yard bomb, only to have him tackled at the 2-yard line. The Quakers held, but the Royals got that running clock going, and it was Keitlinger at the backup role at quarterback with the final touchdown score. Salem finally scored in the final minute, and the final score was CVCA 40, Salem 8, the Royals' first ever OHSAA playoff victory on this day in Royals history, November 9th, 2019. And once again here, we are now in 2024. We'll take a look at the playoff brackets once again if you missed it during the pregame. The Royals are the 3 seed, and Chardon is up big on Talmadge, 28-7, so if the scores hold, it'll be a rematch of last year's first round playoff game where the Royals were routed up at Chardon. Chardon had 30 seniors on that team a year ago. The Royals hoping for a different result if they can hang on tonight and face Chardon next week. The rest of the bracket is there. Youngstown Ursuline is the 1 seed. Hawken and VASJ are a tight one tonight in the 8-9 game. Aurora's leading, Geneva leading, Gilmore Academy and Akron East, Kenston and Maple Heights, and then, of course, Talmadge and Chardon. We've got about a minute 50 seconds to go, enough time to run some highlights, and we'll see if Gabe Laurie's got them ready to go. He does. Let's take a look at some of the first half highlights from tonight's game here at Royal Stadium. Here's the first touchdown of the evening. It was Charlie Levac on officially a 2-yard touchdown run. And here is Ryan Weehee. Weehee from about 25 yards out got to the outside and was not tackled until he found the blue paint. Speaking of blue paint, here's Mikey Malone, the only scorer of the first half for U.S. Tommy Kopak got CVCA back to a 2-score lead from about 20 yards out, I think 25 actually. And then right before the half, it was Calvin Warren with a 33-yard field goal at the buzzer, and that's where we stand at halftime. CVCA leading this one by a score of 23-7 as we wrap up the Signs 330 halftime report here at Royal Stadium. Once again, if we have this score hold through the second half, we will be here once again with you next week on the same platform, NFHS Network, with coverage of the second playoff game, which would also be here at home. More on that to come in the second half. We'll wait to see how the second half progresses, but right now we'll take a look at the halftime stats. And there they are. A big first half for the Royals, 235 yards on the ground, and they had a nice set of passing plays to get that final field goal in right before the half. 301 yards, just 115 for U.S. 1 turnover. It was a Tommy Kopak interception. The Royals have been penalized 4 times for 25 yards. No penalties so far tonight for U.S. The clock says 12 minutes, and we're ready to go in the second half. The Royals will receive the second half kickoff. Mateo Morelli is out to do the honors, and back deep for CVCA to start this second half is Joey Kopak and Zach Anderson. It's a short kick, and it's going to be taken by one of the upmen on the far side of the field. It's Tommy Kopak. Kopak buries his head forward and gets out across the 35-yard line to about the 37. And we are underway in the second half. Royals will have the first possession. It's a busy halftime with a lot of words. Had to pause for a drink of water right there. Hope you're enjoying the coverage tonight. We've got Hunter Geiger on camera. We've got T-Fizz, Tony Carter on the sideline cam. John Powell, Gabe Laurie, pressing the buttons and making all the replays work. And Sean Mosher on stats, along with Tim Nichols here to bring you second half action. The Royals will start out from the T formation from their own 37-yard line. And they'll run it off the right side, and no gain on the first play. A nice play right there by Mikey Malone. Also in on the tackle is Chris Fiorito. And it'll be second down and 10 for the Royals. Second and 10 for CVCA. Left side run. Weehee with it. Weehee cuts through a little bit of a hole there, and it makes a nice gain out of that one. He'll pick up 8 yards, maybe 9, all the way out to the 47-yard line. 9 yards officially, 3rd and 1. Royals leading 23-7. Weehee gets it again, and they convert on 3rd and 1. Weehee's across midfield, taken down in the 48-yard line of the Preppers. He picks up 5, and the Royals move the sticks. Royals go quickly. It's a short gain. Joey Kopech under the pile. Give him 2. It's 2nd down and 8. And this is a new thing for CVCA, going no huddle out of the half. We have not seen this all year long, so a new look for the Royals. Zach Anderson on the carry that time. He'll pick up 2 more. 3rd down and 6. The ball spotted inside the 45, just shy of the 44-yard line, and this time the Royals do huddle. They break it with plenty of time on the play clock, 23 and counting. Levac under center. Trio of backs behind him. They'll run right. 1st down yardage and more. Down across the 35 to the 34-yard line for Zach Anderson. A pickup of 10. They'll move it back 1, so officially 9. 1st and 10 from the 35 as you see it from field level. Anderson saw the hole and cut up quickly. Malone in there on the tackle, but in the secondary, the Royals have it moving once again. Levac rolls left, gets a little strung out, but does get the corner, and he's tackled out of bounds. He'll pick up about 4 or 5 on that. It was Tyler Robinson on the tackle for the Preppers.
How'd you do that? How'd you do that?
5-yard gain in that last play. The ball's on the 30-yard line now. First series of the second half, first drive. Royals 100% on the ground. Levac will go right, gets a hole, cuts up and spins. He'll have enough for the 1st down again. He's going to pick up 8 yards, does Levac. Another 1st down for the Royals. All the way down to the 22-yard line on the outside edge of the red zone. And Levac will look to pass this time. Got a man in his face. Cuts back to the left side of the field, still looking down. And he's going to be tackled, or not tackled, but run out of bounds. It will be a sack, a team sack for the Preppers. Levac will lose about 3 yards on that play. Make it a loss of 5. 2nd and 15 for the Royals. So up to that point, it had been all on the ground. Levac had a man in his face almost immediately as he looked to pass that ball. So now 2nd and 15, they move back to the 27-yard line. Back to the ground game. Left side run. And they get the 5 yards back. It'll be 3rd down and 10. Tommy Kopech on the carry for the Royals. He scored the last CVCA touchdown. So a big play here. The Royals leading 23-7. Right now the lead is 16. 2 touchdowns, 2 two-point conversions, so it's still a 2-score game. Calvin Warren has already been good from 33 yards his season long. Levac operates out of the shotgun. He looks to throw, tosses it downfield, and it's caught. Once again, Braden Harris. He's having a night. And it's close to a 1st down. They're going to mark him short by a half a yard, so a pickup of 9 on 3rd and 10. 4th down and 1, and there's no hesitation. The Royals keep the offense on the field. Levac brings the play into the huddle. It'll be 4th and 1, not 3rd down. 4th and 1, under center, up the middle, and 1st down yardage. It looks like Joey Kopech with the honors. The Royals move the chains, and they're in the red zone. 68% of the season on 4th down for CVCA, and that just went up. CVCA was 17 of 25 coming into the night on 4th down. Kopech rushed that ball up to the 8-yard line, and it's 1st and goal to go for CVCA on the 8. Left side run. Down across the 5 and inching closer toward the end zone. Taken
Number
down at the
23,
4.
Sophomore Zach Anderson on the carry.
It's
for
Zach
CVCA.
Anderson on the carry for CVCA.
5, University, Gianni Odell.
So 2nd down and goal from the 3 after that 5-yard carry. Still the T formation for the Royals. Right up the middle and into the end zone. It's a touchdown for CVCA. Joey Kopech on the touchdown for CVCA. A 3-yard dash into the end zone, and the Royals take up almost half of the 3rd quarter. 6:05 to go. And here's Kopech. Nice hole by the offensive line. A good block there by number 54 for CVCA, Gabe Kautzman. And the Royals' lead expands to 29-7. And once again, the Royals will go for 2. Levac rolls to his right. He's going to carry it himself, and he's into the end zone. It's good for Charlie Levac on the 2-point conversion. CVCA 31 and US 7. 6:05 to go here in the 3rd period, and the Royals, with a 5-minute and 55-second drive, have another score, and they are in command of this one, 31-7, looking to book their ticket to round number 2 next week. It would be here at Royal Stadium if they hold on, and it will be right here on CVCA live stream. We mentioned it before, and Coach Nick Cook of the Royals, emphasized it this week. The CVCA program has exactly 1 win in Week 11 in playoff history. That was that 2019 game that we featured on this day in Royals history, November 9th, 2019, against the Salem Quakers. They are on their way, if they can hold on tonight, to a 2nd ever Week 11 victory, and just the 4th ever playoff victory for the Royals in the 29-year history of the program. Pooch kick goes forward, taken at the 26-yard line, and fielded by number 22. That is Travis Phillips. He goes east to west, doesn't get much there, and he'll be tackled at about the 30-yard line. Public address announcer L.T. Newland gives a big shout-out to Don Gino Bickley, and we will too on the tackle for the Royals. Don Gino, a junior, doing the dirty work on special teams. All right, here we go. 5:59 to go. 3rd quarter. First drive of the 2nd half for the University School Preppers. At quarterback again, Carson Pantek. 100% out of the shotgun. He's going to throw on the first play of the 2nd half, and it's intercepted by CVCA. Ryan Weehee picks it off. Just like the first half, the first throw of each half tonight out of the hands of quarterback Carson Pantek is intercepted. Ryan Weehee does it this time, and here you see it once again. He tried to feather it in over the middle, and Weehee stepped right in front of it to take it away for the Royals, and they're in business once again. Ryan Weehee, 2nd interception of the season for Weehee, the 18th takeaway through the air for the Royals on the season. And so just like that, the Royals have it right back. And if they can score here, already up by 24 points, another touchdown would make it a 30-point contest, and we'd be into the running clock territory. It could be a very quick 2nd half. And frankly, that's what head coach Nick Cook and his cohorts on the sidelines want. 1st down and 10 for the Royals from the 30-yard line, out of the shotgun. Looking to throw toward the end zone, wide open, and touchdown Royals. Zach Anderson, a 30-yard touchdown catch, and the Royals do have that 30-point lead. It's 37-7. Here's the replay out of the shotgun. Levac looking to throw, and Zach Anderson gets behind the defense in the secondary, wide open, and scores. Out to kick the extra point is Calvin Warren. Snap down, kick is up on the way, and it is good.
Calvin Warren's extra point is up and good.
One play, 30 yards, Charlie Levac to Zach Anderson, and the Royals lead this one by 31 points. They've blown it open. It's CVCA 38 and University Schools 7. 5:04 left in the third quarter, and as soon as we kick off here, the clock will run. Cheerleaders doing a bunch of leg kicks tonight. So Calvin Warren heads back out on the field. He'll kick this ball away. And University School has had just one play this half. CVCA scored 15 points. And the cheerleaders finished those 38 leg kicks. They do keep track of how many leg kicks on the season, and we're just going to say it's a big number. A big number is what the Royals have put up tonight, 38-7, and still plenty of time left to go. Warren ready to boot it away again. This time he's going to kick it long, and it's the first returnable kick from inside the 10, taken at the 2-yard line. It's number 2 for, oh, a big hit. A huge hit, and I think it's Dongino Bickley once again taking down Colin Milbourne.
Colin Milburn on the return for U.S. Brought down by the Royals, number 87, Carter Walkley.
It was not Bickley, it was Carter Walkley. And he leaves his 87 imprint on the number 2 of Milbourne. First and 10 for U.S. from the 21-yard line. Clock running. 4 minutes to go, third quarter. They'll run it with Mikey Malone. Malone cuts to his right. Gets out to the 25-yard line. He'll pick up 4 yards, and they'll mark him back at the 24, so 3 yards. Second down and 7. Second down, 7. Malone again. Keeps those legs moving, but the Royals defense is there to greet him. He's out to the 29-yard line. Pick up a 4. Third and 3. Tough yards for Malone tonight. 11 carries, 45 yards for the senior. He will see his career at US end tonight, barring some spectacular comeback. But Malone has been a workhorse for the Preppers this season and last year as well. Back-to-back seasons, over 800 yards rushing for US. And he gets another carry. Should have enough for the first down there.
Mikey Malone on the carry for U.S. Stopped up by number 4, Draylon Price, and number 20, Joey Kopak.
Malone came into tonight's contest with, well, 702 yards rushing, so he's still a bit shy of the 800-yard mark, so we'll call it back-to-back 700-yard rushing seasons. He had over 800 last year, and we'll see what he gets here in the rest of the contest tonight. With that rush there, that's 48, so that puts him at 750 on the season. It is a first down for U.S. They mark it at the 32-yard line. Pitch play. And another nice run from Malone. One of his better ones tonight. He'll be just shy of the first down. He'll pick up 9.
Mikey Malone on the carry for University School. Brought down by number 45 of the Royals, Luke Keeler.
Betsy, don't you live pretty far away from here? Like 40 minutes?
2nd and 1 for U.S. They keep it on the ground. Malone tiptoes, and he's going to lose yards this time. Tackled by number 20, Joey Kopech for CVCA. Kopech, the leading tackler on the Royals team. He came into the night leading the team through the first 10 weeks of the regular season and the season itself. 66 total tackles. That's another tackle for loss for Kopech. So Malone loses a yard. It's 3rd down now and 2. Last minute of the 3rd quarter. CVCA with a long touchdown drive, and now we've got a stoppage. And it's timeout, University School. So with that timeout, we're going to talk about the Royals Power Meal program once again. And we want to thank Texas Roadhouse for helping support the Royals Power Meal program and apparently also supporting the girls volleyball program, as we heard from head coach Brian McKnight earlier. The Royals Power Meal program continues with Team 29, a local restaurant providing the Royals with a meal on the day before the game. And this week's Power Meal sponsor is Texas Roadhouse, located at 4310 Lake Point Corporate Drive, just off Steele's Corners, exit of Route 8. Everything's made fresh from scratch, even the bacon bits, the croutons, and the dressings. Hand-cut steaks, fall off the bone ribs. Legendary food, legendary service. It starts with taking no shortcuts. Texas Roadhouse takes pride in every plate they serve. Mouth-watering yet? Well, stop on down this weekend to Texas Roadhouse in Stowe. When you do, be sure to thank them for their support of Royals football and the Royals Power Meal program. 3rd down and 2 out of the shotgun. They're going to run it again. And the offensive line for U.S. pushes forward and gains 3. It's enough for the 1st down. They'll move the chains as we wind down toward the end of the 3rd quarter. It was Tyler Robinson getting the carry that time. They move the chains out to the 44-yard line. And U.S. is going to get another playoff here before the end of the quarter. Back into the shotgun. Pantak and Malone in the backfield. Back to Malone. And Malone's going to be bottled up for a loss this time. They stack him up. Kopech's in there again. So is Wesley Keeler. He'll lose a yard, and we will go to the end of the 3rd quarter. The clock winds out. The score at the end of 3, it's CVCA 38 and University School 7. Once again, we want to remind you and thank you for tuning in tonight. And thank you for watching CVCA live stream in its 5th season, professional production, 100% volunteer staffing. CVCA live stream began as an idea about how to get CVCA sporting events into your living room during COVID, and we're well above 150 broadcasts since that time. Fully volunteer gig from the start. You got 6 of us bringing the broadcast to you tonight, but we've got a budget of about $5,000 a year to make it happen, and we've fully absorbed that budget every year for the first 4 years. But for the first time, we are able to come to you after never having taken a dime. We're asking for your support. CVCA live stream can be supported by giving directly to the CVCA giving interface. You can do that by going to the website on your screen at cvcaroyals.org/give-now. Make sure you use that hyphen. Or just take a picture of the screen, scan that QR code, and go there later. When you do give, we just simply ask that you reference CVCA Livestream. You got to type it in the comments section. That way, the powers that be will know where to allocate those funds. We thank you for watching CVCA Livestream for every year that we've been on the air. We thank you for watching tonight, and we thank you for your support of CVCA Livestream. Here we've got 12 minutes to go. CVCA with a 31-point lead. University School trying to drive and get something going here in the second half. They have a 1st down from their own 43-yard line. Carson Pantak barking out the signals. A flag goes out on the field. And it is a false start against U.S. And so they will open up the 4th quarter with a 5-yard penalty. Clock continues to run with the Royals leading by 30 points or more. It is 31, so even though the penalty was flagged, we're already down to 11 minutes and 20 seconds to go, 4th quarter. Once again, set your calendars for next week. The Royals, the 3rd seed in Division III, Region 9, which means a win tonight guarantees a second home playoff game 1 week from tonight at 7 o'clock against the winner of Chardon and Talmadge, and it looks like that's going to be Chardon. It'll be a tall task for the Royals, but they'll be up for it. Right now, 1st and 15 for Pantac and the Preppers. He looks to throw. He's under big pressure, and he's going to crumble under it. A sack for CVCA. Ryan Weehee in there on the tackle. Check that, it's Luke Keeler who got there first. So Luke Keeler gets credit for the tackle and the sack in the backfield. It was 1st and 15, so now I believe, actually it was 2nd and 15. So it's going to be 3rd down and 21, a loss of 6 on that play. Two receivers top side, single receiver near side. Mateo Morelli at the tight end spot. And Pantac will look to throw it. Under pressure again, tosses, and it's going to be picked off again by the Royals. Joey Kopak could be going to the house. Kopak 20, 10, 5, touchdown CVCA. Joey Kopak has a passing touchdown reception. He's got 9 rushing touchdowns, another one tonight making it 10. He's got a kickoff return for a touchdown this season, and he just got himself a pick 6. Joey Kopak for CVCA puts the Royals up 44-7 on the 3rd interception tonight of quarterback Carson Pantac. It's all CVCA tonight. And here it is again. Kopak, after he got it, he just had Green in front of him. Nobody there to stop him. And here comes the extra point. Kick is up and on the way, and it is good for Calvin Warren. 37-yard interception return for Joey Kopak puts the Royals up 45-7. A tough night for quarterback Carson Pantac, the junior. His first season starting for University School. Stepped in. The U.S. had a large number of players graduate last year. And Pantac has acquitted himself fairly well this season. You know, he picked up 5 wins. 4 of those counted toward the OHSAA playoff standings. That 34-0 win against Doane Community did not. But tonight is a tough night for him, for head coach Ben Malbasa and the Preppers. It's a great night, though, for a CVCA Royals, as they'll kick off once again. 8:55 to go in the 4th quarter. 45-7. Short kick near side. Fielded at the 24-yard line. And it's the same player. He's been fielding most of the kicks tonight, Colin Milburn, and he's ushered out of bounds. Tommy Kopak there to do the ushering. And we've had so much action, we've not even had a chance to look at the 3rd quarter stats. We'll see if we can squeeze those in here, maybe after this play.
Fans, we'd like to take a minute to say thanks to our platinum sponsors this evening. Grace College, First Place Spirit Wear, Ken's Park.
The Preppers break the huddle.
Falls Community Chapel.
We'll see if they're staying committed to the passing game, or if they go back to Mikey Malone. And the clock stops. Timeout CVCA. So the Royals must have seen something they didn't like, but that will give us a chance to look at those stats. And we'll call them the 4th quarter stats at this point, since here we are with 8:03 to go in the 4th quarter. Royals up to 396 yards on the ground, or rather overall, 283 of those yards on the ground, 113 through the air. Tack on that 37-yard interception return, which is not on the screen, and it adds up to a big-time 45-7 lead over U.S. tonight. Mikey Malone with most of those 47 yards rushing. Carson Pantac, 83 yards passing. He is 6 of 17 for 83 yards, but 3 big interceptions. for Pantac tonight. 45-7, CVCA leading. And a handoff to Malone again, left side, and he finally breaks into some open space. Nice play there by Mikey Malone. He hasn't given up. He runs over one of the Royals players in the secondary.
Mikey Malone on the carry for U.S. brought down by number 16 of the Royals.
That was number 16 for CVCA, not listed on the roster. I believe that was Jackson Cruz. So first down yardage from Malone in that play, and they'll go right back to him. And it may be curtains for the Royals first teamers tonight with about 7:20 left to go on a running clock. Royals extending the bench and getting some of these second teamers in.
Tackle for the Royals, number 32, Reed Jones.
Pickup of 3 yards, second down and 7 for U.S. Malone again. Actually, this time it's not Malone. It's number 20 on the carry. That is Cam Shiver. We expected to see a bit more of Cam Shiver tonight. That is, I think, the first carry for him. It is. First carry for Cam Shiver tonight. Shiver's speedy, a 4.740. He does get first down on that play. Down to the Royals' 39-yard line. It is the U.S. first team against the Royals' second team. Shiver again. Although he is the second team running back, he's bottled up that time. Asa Boyd on the tackle. Boyd has a defensive touchdown this year. He had a scoop and score down at Tuslaw. So he got his name in the record book. First and 10. I checked that. Second and 10. Looking to pass over the middle, and it's picked off again. The 4th interception of the night of Pantac. And the Royals pick it off. It's number 12 for CVCA, Alex Mamoni. Playing defensive back. He's the backup quarterback. He might go right back in if Charlie Levak's night is done. And the rough night for Carson Pantac continues. 4th interception of the evening. Tommy Kopech had the first one. I believe Ryan Wee, he had the second. Joey Kopech the third, and now the 4th takeaway through the air tonight by Alex Mamoni. And it is check that, it's number 16, Jackson Cruz, into the game at quarterback for CVCA. And he will hand off. We'll try and get these numbers called out. Number 32 on the carry, I believe that's Reed Jones. And it was. Pickup of 1. Jones had a big touchdown in late in the 4th quarter at Northwest earlier this season. So the JV season is done, but the junior varsity players for CVCA getting some playing time here in week 11. Cruz hands off near side. Nothing doing that time for the Royals. That was number 11 for CVCA, Gavin O'Keefe on the carry. He will lose 4 yards. 3rd down and 13 for CVCA. We are under 4 minutes to go. In a quick-moving, swiftly moving second half with a running clock, the Royals opened the half up with a long drive that took up half the 3rd quarter, made an interception on the first play of the half for U.S., and scored immediately thereafter on the very next play, a 30-yard touchdown pass from Levac to Zach Anderson, and that got the running clock going. Here we go on 3rd and 13, and once again right into the teeth of the U.S. defense for CVCA's number 24 on the carry. That was Will Perot. And great to see Will Perot get a carry. He was injured with a lower body injury in the last scrimmage of the season and missed the majority of the season, but recovered now, and he's in the record book. Will Perot with a carry in the playoff game. 4th down for CVCA, 2:50 and counting. And it looks like the Royals are going to run out the majority or almost all of this play clock and probably call timeout. And my suspicion is they'll punt it away and play the final 2.5 minutes or so on defense. And that is what they do. Timeout CVCA. 2 minutes and 29 seconds to go. And when we have this timeout, we will definitely be on the air next week, and we will share that with you right now. The OHSAA regional quarterfinal matchup. CVCA, it says against Chardon or Talmadge. Well, we can pretty much assume that it's going to be Chardon, who is up 28 to 7 late in the first half. It's a rematch of last year's game, which Chardon won up at Chardon. I believe the score was 42-0. Chardon had 30 seniors, and they were a 7 seed a year ago, went all the way as a 7 seed to the state semifinal. They were the regional champion. Perhaps as tough a 7 seed as you're ever going to find. It will be no easier next week here at home against Chardon, perennially one of the powers of Region 9 and Division 3. But we'll have the coverage for you on CVCA live stream. Here the Royals are set to punt. And it's a low punt. Kicked away, and I believe that's Luke McQuillan on the punt. Back deep to get it. Number 13, Cam Ryan. He lets it bounce, and the Royals down it. Down there on the coverage, it is Jackson Cruz. And the clock continues to run. 2:10 to go here in regulation and in the ball game. So we'll be on the air next week, 6:40 once again on NFHS Network. We hope you found it. If you paid this week, you don't have to pay again next week. You're good for the month. And so we hope you'll enjoy our final football broadcast of the year next week, Friday night, November the 8th at 6:40, kickoff at 7 p.m. Final minute 45. Pantac still in there, and they're going to run it. On the carry, it's number 11, Thomas Hedden. Bennett McCubbin on the tackle after the 3-yard gain. Another running play as we wind down the play. And a big play. This one's going to go to the house. Mikey Malone. Will he be caught from behind? Yes, he will. Malone tackled on the 2-yard line. A huge run for Malone. 66 yards, but he's tackled just shy of the end zone for the senior. The clock stops. It should keep going, but it's stopped for the moment. They're going to allow the chains to reset after the big run from Malone. Snap, kick, and it is good. 5.3 seconds left to go. Score CVCA 45 and US 14. And they just wind the clock, and that's going to do it. The Royals have advanced to the second round, the OHSAA Region 9 quarterfinals with a 45-14 victory tonight over University School. It's the second ever win in Week 11 for CVCA. And the season continues. A dominating performance tonight for the Royals.
Fans, we'd like to invite you right back here at Royal Stadium
From start to finish. As the teams shake hands at center at the midfield, 50-yard line, we'll take one final look at those out-of-town scores. And we'll see if we can bring them up for you and get some updates. And here they go. No update from Cheney and Ursuline. You'll have to find that yourself. VASJ 31, Hawken 21, so they pulled away there at halftime. Aurora, big lead in the third quarter, 35-6. Talmadge closed within 28-14, although Chardon still in control at the half. Maple Heights leading Kenston at the half. That would be an upset if that holds, although a whole half left to play, 8-7. And then Geneva leading Madison 28-3. So those scores all in progress scores. So it likely will be Chardon, but we'll have to see if we can check and see if we can get a more updated score perhaps on Twitter before we step off the air tonight. So the season continues. The Royals advance to the regional quarterfinals and one final playoff game here at Royal Stadium next week. We will have it for you, as we said. Once again, due to contractual obligations, that game will air on NFHS Network only, the network you're watching tonight, the exclusive streaming partner of the Ohio High School Athletic Association. But we remind you once again to follow our social media accounts for more information throughout the week. You can find CVCA Livestream on the internet by looking for the handle at CVCA Livestream on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, and of course we do encourage you to sign up and follow our YouTube page as well, which brings you most of the coverage to the regular season, and we'll bring you the coverage in the off-season of hockey, basketball, and other sports. CVCA next week will take on either Chardon or Talmadge, and again, we will have it for you. Before we go tonight, we want to take a look at those final stats, if we can pull those up one final time, and with Mikey Malone's big 67-yard blast, stats even up a little bit. 45-14 the final score. The Royals put up 394 yards tonight. Add to that a 37-yard interception returned by Joey Kopech for another touchdown. 281 yards on the ground, the bread and butter of the Royals. A fine passing display, though, right there at the end of the half with a Calvin Warren field goal put on by mostly Charlie Levac and Braden Harris. The big story tonight, 4 takeaways for CVCA, 4 interceptions of quarterback Carson Pantek by the CVCA secondary and defense. And the Royals, it adds up to a 45-14 victory. Once again, if you're still with us, we want to thank you for tuning in tonight. As a final reminder, if you've enjoyed our coverage this football season, we'd appreciate your support as we bring you professional production with 100% volunteer staffing. Scan that QR code right now or snap a picture of the screen in front of you. We're asking you to help support CVCA Livestream in our budget of about $5,000 a year to make this happen and come to you with replay, multiple cameras on the sideline. Try and improve it every single year, and we are thrilled with what we are able to do for you. But for the first time, we are asking for you to support us if you can. Any amount would be welcome. You can go to the CVCA giving interface at cvcaroyals.org/give-now. Just be sure to reference CVCA Livestream when you give in the comments section. You can give monthly, you can give a one-time gift. Whatever you do give, we can't thank you enough for your support of CVCA Livestream. So, once again, we'll put up the graphic on next week's game. As you see the final score go up, there it is. CVCA and likely Chardon, maybe Talmadge, next week, Friday night, November 8th, 2024. On air at 6:40, kickoff at 7 p.m., the final game of the season at Royal Stadium. Hopefully not the final game of the season for the Royals. Tonight, their 9th win in a row. The school record continues to grow. 9 straight wins. We'll be here to see if they can make it 10 next Friday night at Royal Stadium on NFHS Network. So before we go, special shout-outs as always to those who help us bring you the production. Thank you to Chad Darr, who is here tonight for his expertise, his technical support, his setup, and keeping us warm. It was a cold night, but it was warm in the booth. We had a generator going and a little bit of heat up here. So thank you, Chad. Toasty, as John Powell says. Thank you to Kristen Nichols Photography for all of her fine work, getting a lot of the pictures that we use in the production. We'd be remiss, as we say each week, to not thank the amazing CVCA athletic staff, the best in the business, Athletic Director Dr. John Young, Associate Athletic Director Jason Herblay, Sports Information Director Ben Miller, the best in Ohio, hands down, as well as Tracy Eck and Amber Martin. And now, for Director John Powell, for Sean Mosher on stats, Hunter Geiger and T-Fizz, Tony Carter on cameras, for Gabe Laurie on replay, this is Tim Nichols. We thank you for watching once again. The final score tonight, CVCA 45, University School 14. So long, everybody. Have a great weekend.